Florida has its own, I think, somewhat unique situation. It's getting extremely difficult to get insurance, and they're probably going to need some sort of government bailout in the future, to make mortgages possible, because to get a mortgage, you need insurance.
I feel like the rest of the country is getting fed up with basically subsidizing, because that's what insurance is, right? Is that if you live in a place with almost no natural disasters, the cost of all of that gets subsidized. So when California burns down constantly, or when Florida gets hit by hurricanes and those houses get flooded out, well, the price of those insurance policies also gets spread out across the rest of the US. So I was looking to possibly move my homeowner's insurance because I got kind of locked in at a very low rate before the market went up, and before all this kind of stuff, before all the natural disasters that seem to be constantly happening. Mine's kind of stuck in that spot for when I first got it. And I went to go look at, maybe I move it in with the same provider, right, as I'm using for my car. Because I moved my car, because the same thing happened with my car, where they were just insanely ramping up the cost by 20% every single time I went to renew. So then I went to go check, maybe I'll move it over and I can save some money on my auto insurance. And it was 4 times the cost. I was like, no, absolutely not. This is wild. And that's the thing, is because now when you go to buy it, even if you're in a place where there is almost no need, the only thing that could ever happen is oh, I need to replace my roof eventually. That's the only thing that would ever happen where I live. And so when you're looking at that, and then you're having to subsidize it, well, then the people in all the other parts of the country are getting pissed off that they're having to subsidize those people who live in the more prone areas to natural disaster, and they're having to start to hear from it. So it's a very good point that he's making, and I think a big component of that is the insurance companies having to accurately reflect and say, look, if you live in one of these areas, we can't continue. Yes, we can sort of subsidize it, but at a certain point in time, some insurance carrier is going to come out and say, okay, we're not going to cover those areas, and we're going to offer a much lower rate. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Once again, if you're not having to ever utilize your insurance except for once every 30 years or something like that, then yeah, why am I paying such a high rate?